A whites-only community could be coming to Springfield, Missouri. Yes, you heard that right. In 2025, a whites-only community. There's a group called Return to the Land, a self-declared whites-only organization already based in northern Arkansas. Their co-founder just announced that they're eyeing Springfield for expansion. This isn't just talk. They already own 160 acres of land in Arkansas alone, with cabins, wells, and a so-called community center, all for people with European ancestry. That's code for no black, no brown, no Jewish, no non-Christian people. This is white supremacy dressed up as world living. It's illegal, it's very hateful, and it has no place in Missouri or anywhere else in America. Well, maybe the White House. But we need to be loud about this. Contact your local reps, share their story. Most importantly, don't be silent.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So we got to talk about a story that is going viral that's pissing off a whole lot of non-white folks, right? They real upset about this, okay? Because anytime the white man says, you know what, we're good. We want to live and be amongst ourselves, right? We don't want to be amongst anybody that's not of our kind. People got a problem with it. Even though with so-called black and brown people say, hey, we want a community or space for ourselves. We don't want any whites. That is social justice, right? That is what they call freedom.
You hear that? That is the sound of freedom. A lush and rugged expanse about 130 miles south of Atlanta, just shy of 97 acres. It's undeveloped, unincorporated, and it has new owners.
It feels amazing. It feels really amazing. I cry every time I come here.
Renee Walters is one of them. She's president of the Freedom Georgia Initiative. It's a collective of 19 black families who recently bought this land. This dream all started a few weeks ago during Renee's typical morning call with her friend Ashley Scott.
She said, Ashley, did you see the article about Toomsboro for sale?
It turns out that the entire small town was never for sale, just a bundle of a few dozen homes and buildings. So Ashley, a real estate agent, looked for listings in the area and found one for this.
And it was just such a beautiful piece of land. It was affordable, and it just made sense that we could create something that would be amazing for our families.
Why were these two women interested in the prospect of buying a town in the first place?
It really was when we saw what happened with Ahmaud Arbery and George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and the protest. We both have black husbands, we both have black sons, and I was starting to get overwhelmed and have a sense of anxiety when my husband would leave the house to go to work. So watching our people protesting in the streets, while it is important, and I want people to stay out in the streets, bringing attention to the injustices of black people, we needed to create a space and a place where we could be a village again, a tribe again.
So Renee and Ashley reached out to family and friends, and together they bought what they intend to name Freedom Georgia, a new black city.
We don't intend for it to be exclusively black, but we do intend for it to be pro-black in every way.
Jessica Gordon-Amard is an economist and an expert on black collectives.
I've found tremendous benefits to individuals, families, and the communities that are involved in it, including, the economic stability and prosperity, but also leadership development, social capital development, other kinds of human capital development. And so it's really a win-win for everybody involved to be involved.
The owners hosted the Big Black Campout over Labor Day weekend. Supporters drove in from across the country. The plan is to introduce farming next, create a lake for sustainable fishing, facilities for recreation, and eventually develop a fully operational, expanded city.
By being able to create a community that is thriving, that is safe, that has agriculture and commercial businesses that are supporting one another, and that dollars circulating in our community, that is our vision. And to be able to pass this land down to my children and to the children that are represented by each of our 19 families as a piece of legacy. We're hoping to create legacy.
But when the white man decides that they want to live amongst themselves with nobody else, people get upset about it. And that is what we have to talk about here today. Okay, as a whites only community is seeking expansion, right? And this white only community, I believe, right now is in Arkansas. Okay, they're building out their own little private community. Okay, and hey, they're doing their thing. Okay, and I want to go ahead and play some clips here so people can kind of understand exactly what's going on, because a whole lot of people are upset about this. Take a look.
No blacks, no Jews, no gays. High up in the Ozark Hills, in the state of Arkansas, dozens of people have been working hard, building houses and a new type of community. It's called Return to the Land, and it is a town open to white people only. They are millennials and Gen Z, and this is a new update of age-old prejudice.
What we've done here is establish a place where we have control over who our neighbors are, and that is just for the sake of preserving, our culture.
And that culture, effectively, we're saying this is a white culture, a whites-only place.
White American culture.
But what this sounds like is bringing back segregation. Is that a fair assessment?
It's free association. So we're not trying to keep other people down. This is a small settlement in the middle of the Ozarks.
But they are being kept out, even if...
you don't let everyone into your home.
Around 40 people live here. Hundreds more from across the world have paid to be members. And while the men do the physical labour, the women take care of the children who live here full time.
It could be a very loving community if you're part of the community, but if you're black, if you're Jewish, or if you're gay, you can't be part of that community.
They can have their own communities, and they already do.
You might be wondering how any of this can be legal. Return to the Land is structured as a private members association, which they believe allows them to discriminate on the basis of ethnicity, along with other factors. That has yet to be tested in the courts and may well fail. The Arkansas Attorney General has said his office is now reviewing the matter as a result of our reporting, and that there is no room for racial discrimination in Arkansas or anywhere in a free society.
Welcome back to TMZ Live. There is a community in Arkansas that invites whites only. It is a white-only community. And there is talk now that there may be other communities in other states, like in Appalachia, other places, the Pacific Northwest, where this could expand to. The person who has created this community in Arkansas is a man named Eric Orwell, and he is joining us right now. Eric, welcome to TMZ Live.
Hi, good to be with you. Thanks for the invite.
So, first of all, explain the premise. Why a white-only community?
Well, many white Americans do value their European heritage, and we don't think there's anything wrong with that. Many also are afraid that our identity is under threat from mass immigration, low fertility rates, just cultural changes. And we're not just a racial association. We also value traditional European culture, architecture, music, art. And so we want to create a space where that can be celebrated.
So when we say white only, for example, what if a Jewish person, what if I come in and say, I'd like to join this community?
Well, you're welcome to apply. Admissions decisions are made on a case-by-case basis, and we're not purists about this. So if someone has some non-white ancestry, there's a chance they could be accepted. We do view Jewish origins as having their roots in the Near East, and so they wouldn't fall into the category of European heritage.
Why is European heritage the purest form of European heritage, something that you embrace to the exclusion of others?
Well, for something to be what it is, it has to not be other things. I think it's fine if people want to blend and mix and mingle cultures, but I do want cultural diversity to exist. So I want a pure form of Portuguese culture to exist. I want pure Japanese culture to exist in their own respective spheres. So I want a kind of pure European tradition to be maintained somewhere.
I mean, that's the classic segregationist policy, which, we had, up till the early 1960s. So fair to say you're a segregationist.
The major difference is that back then it was forced segregation, and I think that's immoral. Right now, what we have is effective forced integration, and I think that's also immoral. Forcing people to live in ways they don't want to live is the problem. It's not that people may want to voluntarily go their own way. I don't think there's anything morally wrong with that.
I mean, there are clearly people who would say that this is a racist premise and that you are racist for propagating it. What do you say to them?
Well, our association is racial in nature as well as cultural, but we wouldn't identify as racists, and it's not entirely clear what people mean by racist anyway.
The folks building up that white-only community in Missouri are very funny because if you know your history, you'll realize that it's going to collapse upon itself. It's going to fail. And I really feel like they're going to notice that it's failing whenever Becky's trying to make burrito tacos and she's really fucking it up. And they'll find somebody else to blame at the end of the day because these people have insane egos and are just extremely racist. Like, the thought of maybe my ignorance and my stupidity led to this failure is too much for them. They can't compute it because for centuries they've been telling themselves that they're better than because of the color of their skin, because they're white, they're pure, they're God's gift to earth. You know what I mean? And their whole existence depends upon having their ego stroked by society. And if you don't stroke their ego, they're going to lash out. They're going to wall out. Like, and it's because they don't have any kind of culture. They don't have anything to really cling to besides whiteness. Because a lot of white people have lost their culture as a result of coming over here from Europe. And because they lost their culture, lost their heritage, they're always trying to infiltrate black and brown communities and take what they can and bring it back to them. You know what I mean? Because it's like they see that our communities are built on love and care for one another. And white supremacy doesn't allow for that. It drives for individualism. It drives for you not to care about anybody but yourself because you're trying to reach a level of white supremacy that'll allow you to not give a fuck about anybody, that'll allow you to be extremely superior.
So they're doing a whites-only community in Arkansas and the Ozarks. A whites-only community in Arkansas. This is where we're at in America today. Like, what the fuck do you mean you don't want to be around people that look like me? Us brown people are fucking cool as hell. Positive vibes, good food, beautiful people. Like, what the fuck do you mean you guys want to live in a whites-only community in America in the year 2025? What had to happen in your childhood or growing up that as adults you guys decided that you guys want to live in a whites-only community? Doesn't that sound fucking stupid? How racist do you have to be to want to live in a whites-only community? I mean, I don't know if it's just me, but even if I was white, that sounds lame as fuck. Like, I would never want to do some shit like that. That sounds fucking boring.
Yeah, see, there you heard that. Now, I don't know about you guys, but to me, I find it to be absolutely pathetic when grown men get on the internet and boo-hoo whine and cry about the white man not loving them. Because that's exactly what this is. These people are hurt. They're hurt in their souls, in their hearts, deep down. They're hurt that the white man has decided that they don't want to live with you, right? They don't want to be around you. They don't want to be around so-called black and brown people. And before I get deeper into this, because that's exactly what this is, I pissed off a whole lot of people on X when I told this truth about the black folks who are so hurt by Hulk Hogan in his comments, right? The comments they made when he said the N-word and he didn't want his daughter to date a black man or whatever. And I want to relate that back to this topic because it all comes from the same place psychologically. And I specifically want to address the pro-blacks, right? The ones that always boo-hoo-wine and cry about white supremacy and the white man this, the white man that, because these individuals are very confusing to me, right? Like, for example, I'm going to play this clip of Van Lathan boo-hoo-wine and crying about Hulk Hogan, okay? Hulk Hogan being his childhood hero and how butthurt he got over Hulk Hogan, again, saying the N-word and not allowing his daughter, not wanting his daughter to date a black man. Take a look.
This is what I'll say about Hulk Hogan, and I mean this very sincerely. There's a term that people use. The term is a life well lived. And what that allows you to do is when somebody passes away, to contextualize their life as a life well lived, in a sense. And you normally say that when people have had a positive effect on their community, their family, and their friends. It angers me that I cannot say that about Hulk Hogan. You cannot say a life well lived. Hulk Hogan was a hero to me as a child. A hero. You watch wrestling boom of the golden age of the WWF in the 1980s, and he was a larger-than-life figure. He was a superhero. You hear the theme, Real American. You know the Hulkster's coming down the aisle. He's going to rip the shirt. He's going to do this, all of that stuff. But as you got older, you started to learn some truths. Hulk Hogan was, at one point in his life, at least from what we heard on that tape, a virulent racist, consistently a selfish, self-centered performer as a wrestler. He was someone who tried to undermine the union of professional wrestlers. It's a story that came out in the Vince McMahon documentary that the wrestlers were thinking of unionizing. Wrestling is a grueling, taxing profession. And Hulk got wind of it, and he went and told Vince McMahon on the rest of the wrestlers because Hulk Hogan was a company man. The more I learned about him, the more I realized that Hulk Hogan's life was not a life well lived. I'm sure that there are people who love him. I'm sure that the wrestling community will mourn. But I'm mad at him even more now that I can't remember him fondly. And this is a reminder to people that as you are living your life from day to day, no matter what you accomplish, no matter what you are able to accrue, what type of person you are as far as how you're lauded or thought of, that one day people will remember you for how you treated them. They will remember you for the space that you took up inside of their life. They will remember you for the way you looked at the rest of humanity. And I can hope for you guys that when you die, people say that your life was well lived, because Hulk Hogan's wasn't.
Yeah, so according to Van Lathan, who is one of these pro-blackity blacks, Hulk Hogan's life wasn't well lived in his opinion because Hulk Hogan is, in his opinion, was a racist, right? Now, I'm going to ignore the whole, Hulk Hogan was a company man part of it because I don't think that really has anything to do with Van Lathan's hurt that he's experiencing from his childhood hero finding out that he don't like black people like that, right? It just goes to prove my point, okay, that a lot of these people, they just want love and acceptance from the white man. That's what they want. Deep down inside, that's what they're seeking. This is why they get so angry, right? They get so mad and upset when they find out that, hey, wait, hold on. The white man doesn't like me like that, right? The white man doesn't love me. Oh, God, right? They get mad. They get upset. It's like a scorned ex-lover, right? Like a woman who can't accept the fact that a boy that she likes doesn't like her back. So she lashes out in anger over the fact that she's not getting the love that she wants. That is what a lot of these black people sound like, right? When you go out of your way to celebrate the death of Hulk Hogan, somebody that you said was your hero, childhood hero, whatever, and you're upset, okay, because, he made some comments in which, he said the N-word and he expressed that he didn't like his daughter dating black men. To me, again, you sound like somebody that is extremely emotionally hurt over the fact that a white man does not like you the way that you want the white man to like you, right? And it's the same thing happening with these people that are so upset, lashing out about this community, white people building their own community. If you're so pro-black, okay, if you love being black so much, then why are you so concerned about the white man not liking you or deciding that they don't want to live near you? This is why I say that a lot of these pro-black people are just low self-esteem people, right, that desire love and affection from white folks And they project that through their quote unquote pro-blackness, right? It's just low self-esteem. Because somebody of high self-esteem that actually really loves their blackness, that feels good about themselves, right? That's comfortable in the skin they're in. They don't desire love and affection from white folks, right? They can care less. Oh, white people want to go build their own community. Okay, right? That's cool. If they don't want to be around me because of my skin color, hey, more power to them. It is what it is. Freedom, right? Just like the black folks that decided that, you know what, we don't like white supremacy. We don't like being around a white man, police brutality. We can go build our own black community. Hey, cool. Do your thing, right? Freedom. Who cares? Who cares at the end of the day? What, again, I find to be fascinating are these people who are black, who start boohoo-whining, girl, oh man, the white man, this is white supremacy. How is it white supremacy for the white man to say, I want to live by myself? How is that white supremacy? If anything, white supremacy would be the white man forcing themselves into your neighborhood, right? Forcing themselves on you, but they're saying, no, we don't want to do that. We want to leave. Apparently, that's white supremacy. Again, these people are, they really desire love and affection for white people. And that's how they project. They project really hard, right? And this is why they also get so upset with black conservatives, whom they try to characterize as tap dancing for the white man. What are they upset about? What are they really mad about? What are they mad about? The fact that they perceive black conservatives as being accepted by white people. And because they desire that love and affection, right, that they see black conservatives, or they perceive black conservatives getting from white people, this is what makes them jealous. This is why they go out of their way to treat black conservatives worse than they treat criminals, okay? If you listen to how these pro-blacks, these liberals online talk about black conservatives, you never hear them express the same hate and vitriol towards black criminals than they do towards black conservatives. And black conservatives are not the criminals, right? Black conservatives are the upstanding black folks that actually are positive contributors to society. But the negative contributors to society, they have no smoke for those people. But you got smoke for the black conservative because you perceive the black conservative as having that love and affection for the white man that you desire so much. And the crazy part about it is that they don't even see it. They don't see it. They don't realize that they're projecting what they desire when they come out here and they criticize black conservatives for quote unquote tap dancing for the white man, right? Even though I've never come up here and express any type of, you know, bad feelings about a white man saying that he don't like black folks. I just keep moving. All right, cool. You don't like black people? That's cool. Hey, totally fine, right? You didn't hurt my feelings. My feelings can't be hurt by how a white man feels about me because I'm not actively seeking love and acceptance from white people. If white people happen to agree with what I say, that's different than me coming out here and actively seeking their love and acceptance. Because if I was actively seeking their love and acceptance, I would be mad and I would be upset when they come out here and say they don't like black people, right? Or they don't like me. I've never expressed any type of, you know, bad feelings or any type of sadness or any hurt over a white person saying, you know, they don't like black folks. Because I don't care, right? Yeah. And that's the crazy part about it, right? So, you know, it's hilarious, right? How some of these people are reacting, okay? In my opinion, you know, the whole, you know, white community thing, I don't know if they're going to be able to get away with it. Certainly if they weren't white, they would definitely be able to get away with it, right? But because they're white, I'm not sure how they're going to be able to get away with this in the long term, but maybe they will. Regardless, I just find the people who are boohoo-whining and crying about this to be pathetic, okay? These are people who are showing you how much they love and desire affection from white people and how hurt they get when white people show them that they don't really like them like that. And it's just fascinating to me to watch them be so upset about it. When they also turn around and claim that white supremacy is so evil and so bad and the white man hurt them so much, it's like, okay, well, you should be cool with this. You should be celebrating this. You should say, oh yeah, great, get away from us, right? But again, we've seen this time and time and time again where black people are allowed to segregate from whites, but whites are not allowed to segregate from blacks or so-called people of color, right? When black people segregate from whites, that's freedom. when white people segregate from blacks, oh, well, that's racism, right? That's a terrible thing. You can't do this. This is hate and bigotry. It really is fascinating. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.